As it is written in the book of Matthew, "Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be opened to you." Let me share a chapter from my own life, a time when my faith was put to the ultimate test. It was a period of great struggle and hardship. I was at a crossroads, and it felt like every path led to a dead end. But I held on to my faith, my belief in the divine plan. I asked, I sought, and I knocked, even when the door seemed to be barred shut. This, my friends, is the power of faith. It's the beacon that guides us through the darkest nights, the anchor that keeps us grounded in the stormiest seas. It's the belief that even when things seem bleak, there is a plan, a divine plan that is sometimes beyond our comprehension. Now, blessings. We often think of them as the good things that come our way, the fruits of our labor, or the rewards for our deeds. But I believe blessings are more than that. They are the lessons we learn through our struggles, the strength we gain from our hardships, and the faith we hold on to even when things seem impossible. And here's the beautiful part. Often these blessings come after periods of struggle and hardship. It's as if the universe is saying, "You've held on, you've persevered, and now here is your reward." But remember, these blessings aren't just the tangible rewards we receive. They are also the intangible ones, the growth, the resilience, the unwavering faith. So even when things seem tough, even when you're tested to your limits, hold on to your faith. Keep asking, keep seeking, keep knocking, because believe me, the door will open, the blessings will come. So remember, even in times of hardship, keep the faith. For as it is written in the book of James, blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. In the book of Psalms we read, "Wait for the Lord, be strong and let your heart take courage, wait for the Lord." This passage resonates with a personal story I'd like to share with you. Several years ago, I found myself in a season of waiting. I was in the midst of a challenging circumstance, praying for a resolution that seemed nowhere in sight. The days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The waiting was difficult, testing my patience and fortitude. There were moments of doubt, moments of despair, but I held on to the belief that God was working in my life, even if I couldn't see it. During this time, I found solace in the book of Psalms, especially the verse I shared with you. It reminded me to be strong, to let my heart take courage, and most importantly, to wait for the Lord. Waiting is not a passive act, but an active one. It requires strength, courage, and faith. It is the quiet anticipation of God's blessings, a journey of trust and surrender to his divine timing. After what felt like an eternity, the resolution I'd been praying for finally arrived. It came in a form I hadn't expected, but it was indeed a blessing. The joy and relief I felt were immeasurable. But what was even more profound was the realization that the journey of waiting had been a blessing in itself. It had taught me patience, strengthened my faith, and made me realize that God's timing is always perfect. And so, we learn that blessings may not always come when we want them to, but they always arrive when we need them most. The journey of waiting for blessings is not an easy one. It requires courage, strength, and above all, faith. But when we surrender to God's timing, we find that the journey itself is a blessing, a divine lesson in patience, faith, and trust. Remember, the blessings are on their way. They are coming in God's perfect timing. The book of Corinthians teaches us, so we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen, since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. As we journey through life, it's crucial to acknowledge and embrace our blessings when they arrive. Often, these blessings might not come in the form we expect, or they may even seem like burdens at first. But with time and perspective, their true nature reveals itself. Let me share a story from my own life. There was a time when I faced a challenge at work that seemed insurmountable. Day after day, I struggled and felt as though I was failing. I was focused on the problem, seeing it as a burden, a hurdle that was hindering my progress. But as time passed, I began to see this challenge in a new light. I realized it wasn't a burden, but a blessing in disguise. It was an opportunity to grow, to learn, to become stronger and more resilient. This realization didn't come immediately. It took patience, prayer, and a lot of soul-searching. But once I embraced this challenge as a blessing, it transformed my outlook and my approach. Blessings are like that. They may not always be immediately recognizable. They may come disguised as trials, as hardships, as challenges. But when we shift our perspective, when we look beyond the immediate and fix our eyes on the unseen, the eternal, we can recognize these blessings for what they are. Blessings are not just the good things that happen to us. They are also the challenges that force us to grow, the trials that strengthen our faith, the hardships that remind us of our resilience. The key is to embrace these blessings, to see them not as burdens but as opportunities for growth and transformation, to not focus on the temporary trials of life, but to look beyond, to the unseen, to the eternal. So let us not fixate on the temporary trials of life, but instead focus on the eternal blessings that await us. As we've explored today, blessings often come in unexpected ways and at unexpected times. We've journeyed through the power of faith, the path of blessings, and the joy of embracing those blessings. It's important to remember that every step we take, every challenge we face, is part of a greater plan. Life is a tapestry woven by the divine, and though we may not always understand the pattern, we can trust that it's leading us to our blessings. It's a journey that requires faith, patience, and gratitude. Faith to believe in what we cannot see, patience to wait for the blessings that are on their way, and gratitude for the blessings we've already received. And so, let us take to heart the words of the Apostle Paul. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Remember, your blessings are on their way. Keep the faith, remain patient, and always be grateful. God bless you all.